Episode 15 with the Beanie Boys. Excited. We're going to talk about the NFL and NBA today. A lot of interesting stuff happened actually today. In our first segment, Vrabel to the Pats. John, is this a great move by the kids?
Ohio State legend, man. Mike Vrabel, Patriots legend. I thought he did a great job with the Titans. They Titans team really fit his personnel. Ground and pound, run the ball, played mean, smash mouth football. And you don't see that in today's day and age. And I think he's going to bring that to New England a little bit. And he's got two very good young quarterbacks over there in Drake May and Joe Milton. And I bring up Joe Milton because he looked very good in that last regular season game. So hopefully they have a big offseason. They get a few running backs, but this hire was great. He's the best available coach out there, and I can't believe he didn't have a job last year.
Yeah, Mackie. I know you weren't sipping on the bourbon last episode. Have you switched it up, or are you still soft on us, as Mike Cronin would say? Mick, excuse me.
I guess I'm going soft on us today.
Hey, it's no problem, but I want to know, is that hiring by the Pats a fantastic move or what?
Mackie, we're gonna start calling you your coworker's name, dude.
It's the least. Yeah, you always just make it a point to talk out of your ass. Always.
But Mac, was Vrabel the right hire?
No, he's the correct hire. Yes, this is the least surprising move ever. He had his team put out to the public that he was going to interview with the Jets as leverage for the Pats to fire Gerard Mayo. It's pretty obvious what was going on there. This is the job he wanted, and obviously Kraft wasn't going to let him get away again. So, correct move. We'll see if it works out, and look forward to seeing what the Pats do moving forward. Drake May is obviously their future. I don't care what Joe Milton
agree
against the Bills backups.
I agree. I like Drake May. DP, what do you think about Vrabel and the Pats?
Yeah, this is such a great hire for them. Bringing somebody back who played for all those championship teams, knows what it takes to get to that level. He was AFC Coach of the Year in I think 2021 when he was with Tennessee. So he knows how to bring a team, and that was with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. They had him, but they were throwing the ball to, yeah, right?
What was that?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, young AJ Brown. So, this team had some pieces, and he won the division, and he played in some high leverage playoff games as a coach. And
sorry, kids, I'm smiling. Johnny thinks he's not on camera when you're talking. He just did the ultimate snot rocket down here.
No, dude.
But continue. I'm sorry. You were giving good evidence here.
No, it's all right. And yeah, with having Drake May, I do agree with John. They need to find some running backs. I don't think Ramondre Stevenson and Gibson are the answers there for that, especially in depending who he brings in at offensive coordinator. But
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, it very well could be. I don't know if that's already been said, but I wouldn't doubt it. I know that was going to be a hire for him. So I'm excited for the Patriots moving forward. I am a huge Drake May fan. It'll still be the Bills division, but the Patriots will end up near the top. I think they overtake the Jets with your boy Aaron Rodgers, John, and I think the Dolphins are going downhill. Tyreek wants out. He'll probably want to go back to Kansas City because the grass isn't always greener, buddy.
Yeah, but I love Vrabel. I think he's somehow related to Dan Campbell. Firm believer in that. Him and Vrabel have very similar personalities. I think Dan Campbell's a little bit crazier, but yeah, I mean, that's just another guy that you want to play for. You know what I mean? He would go neck and neck for you. Don't matter if you're a four-string player, first-string player, first team, fourth team. I just think Vrabel has that chip on his shoulder where he wants to win at all times. So I think this is a great hiring by the Pats. I was maybe thinking that Belichick was going to resign already without coaching a football game from North Carolina. But, he's following his little 17-year-old girlfriend around. But we got some wild card games that happened. And to be honest, the most disappointing game were the Chargers. Now, John, for some reason, you had them in the Super Bowl. We clipped that. Horrible pick. So, what did you think of that game?
Justin Herbert didn't show up. At the end of the day, the Texans defense did show up. And, all along, ever since Stroud got there, the Texans have hung their hat on their offensive side of the ball. This year, it's been their defense. I mean, their offense couldn't beat a Pop Warner football team. I mean, it's still bad. It's still very concerning on that side of the ball for the Texans. But the Texans defense showed up in a big way. Shout out Kamari Lassiter, Georgia. But Justin Herbert just, first of all, like DP said, 2 of them were pick sixes off his receiver's hands. So that can't happen. And then, the play calling was just like run the ball on first and second down, throw the ball on third down. Run the ball on first, second down, throw the ball on third down. And you've never seen Jim Harbaugh coach a football game like that, especially in a wild card game with your season on the line. When you have your defense behind you, you didn't even give your defense a chance to stay in that football game because your offense just kept turning the ball over and giving the Texans the ball on your side of the field. And, at the end of the day, a very horrible game. Honestly, every game in this wild card weekend has been bad. But yeah, I shout out the Texans. They won the game. Now they get to go to Kansas City and get motorboated. So, I mean, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for this team to be proven fraudulent. I'm sorry, Justin, but I've been saying it all year, and my Colts are sitting at home, so I'm allowed to run my mouth if I have to.
Exactly, kid. DP, what did you take from this game?
Yeah, early I thought, CJ Stroud looked horrendous.
Bad.
I thought that the Texans offense was going nowhere. And, my initial reaction to this, sorry, John, but it's like Harbaugh getting the best of an Ohio State quarterback again. Early. Stroud ended up turning it around, but how many more years can we go on saying, can we get Herbert some weapons? I mean, McConkey's got 9 catches for 197 yards, and the next guy's got 2 catches. Like, there's nobody else that they could throw the ball to.
No.
It's actually embarrassing. And, they couldn't run the ball to save their life with J.K. and Gus Edwards, which I thought they were going to be able to. And, we'll talk about, Al Shazier punching Ladd in the head later, but that's kind of crazy. But, not surprised with him. As I told J-May mid-game, I think they just needed to switch to T-Law. They need to go get Trevor Lawrence. Maybe they'll get him kicked out of the game. But this game was just ugly, dude. I mean, it was nuts. As John said, all these games have been just piss poor, bad football.
It's like watching your teacher write on a chalkboard on a Monday morning. That's how bad these games have been.
I mean, truly, I think maybe we need to talk to the committee, and should the Chargers and the Steelers should have been left home for Bama and Ole Miss. I mean, I really have no idea, dude.
Mac, what do you think about this Chargers-Texans matchup, buddy?
Absolute snoozer, but you got to give the Texans credit where it is. They just won a playoff game without Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. Mixon's been banged up all year. Stroud's obviously not at all lived up to the hype for second year. A little bit of a sophomore slump. But guess what? He went out and won another playoff game. So give him credit where it's due. Justin Herbert finds a way, once again, to piss down his pant legs. I don't know what it is with this guy. He had the most efficient season of his career, and then coming to the playoffs, and Nathan Peterman comes out, it'll cause it. So I don't know.
Nathan Peterman.
Mac, he's throwing around some names that I did not think I'd hear today.
I love it.
I will say this one thing about this game I want to touch on real quick. CJ Stroud finally played with a little bit of, he was fired up, a little bit of emotion again. He had that huge run. He got up. He's fired up, pointing first down. You haven't seen that much at all this year. Like, he's just been down. I love CJ Stroud, dude, but I guess they don't call it a sophomore slump for nothing. So, I mean, this Chiefs team this defense is going to make a living joke out of this Houston Texans offense.
No, but going off what you said, I'm so happy that CJ Stroud at least had one highlight in this game. It was that 40-yard run at the end. Other than that, he looked horrible. That Texans defense won that game. But no, it don't matter. J-May's backstage for this one too, guys. Texans fan.
Jay. Well,
he had one highlight. It was that long run to close the game out. What about the fumble? Yeah, it was a good play. I mean,
Don't worry.
it was
The next-
meaningless.
The next highlighted segment, Russ also threw for 270 in a loss.
Yeah. But yeah, we were wrong though. I personally had the Chargers winning just because of that defense. And it was, I mean, I guess the defense did play good. It was just Herbo thought they were in Texan uniform that game. I mean, and Will Dissly, I mean,
Two key drop passes.
I mean, he's running around with Miller 40s on his hands, apparently. I mean, he can't catch a football, dude. What are we doing, Dissly? What are we doing? But I mean, we're gonna go to Johnny's favorite here. Lamar Jackson, John, and the Ravens. You were on Steelers plus 10.5, bonehead decision. Give me the rundown.
I don't know why I'm betting on a fucking moron who all Pittsburgh fans think is great because he goes 9-8 every fucking year. Mike Tomlin is not a good coach. I'll finish the other topic right now. Fire him. Get him the hell out of that city, run, and don't ever come back. I don't think he's good. Justin Fields had this team at 4-2 at the beginning of the year, playing Steelers football, running the ball, doing everything right. Him and George Pickens were on the same page. And then what? How do the Steelers end their season? They lose 5 straight. George Pickens, their best receiver, their only sign in a single ounce of a future. And Russell Wilson and him are bitching about each other in interviews, saying, oh, we're not on the same page. And then the interview is telling the other guy another thing. Problems in Pittsburgh all over the board. Where the hell did this defense go? I mean, just non-existent. I mean, Derrick Henry was running for 9 yards, damn near walking for 9 yards yesterday. This Steelers defense disappeared. Like Lamar Jackson said, Derrick Henry coming down the middle is like Lightning McQueen. I sure as hell don't want to tackle him.
No.
He's a serious problem. They gave arguably the best quarterback in the game right now, the most physical, dominant, scary running back in the game. This Ravens team's scary. All in all, I cannot believe they're underdogs next weekend. Give me the Ravens by 2 touchdowns. The Bills don't have a single defense.
Oh, my
God.
God.
The Ravens defense, ever since they made that move of Kyle Hamilton to free safety, look how this Ravens defense have played. Look at the numbers, the statistics. This Ravens team is a problem. I know I always say Lamar will never get over the hump. They'll win in Buffalo. They'll go to Kansas City, and they'll get their asses handed to them. But anyway, piss poor performance by the Steelers. Holy cow, is this team bad. What a downfall from the beginning of the season, middle through the season. I mean, pathetic. If I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, shout out Drew Horton. I am absolutely so disappointed in my football team and this organization. What happened, man? It feels like 6 weeks ago we were watching their special teams coordinator get fired up because everything was going their way. And here we sit, and they're eliminated in an absolute ass beating. That game was worse than 14 points. And there was never a time you in that game that you thought the Steelers were going to win that game. So that's all I have to say. Mike Tomlin, you suck. Congrats on going 500 again. You haven't won nothing since Big Ben was in his second year. So go ahead and continue, boys.
That's all you had to say, John? You only took 4 minutes of our time.
Yeah, and I would love to take 4 more and talk about how piss poor this Pittsburgh Steelers team is. Start Justin Fields at quarterback.
Mackie, you'll keep it short. I know you'll keep it short and sweet. Mackie, what do you think about this Baltimore-Pittsburgh matchup?
Reeks of someone lost a lot of coin last night over there in the garage. No, I mean this Steelers team fell off. This Steelers team fell off the face of the earth. Underhit, no surprise there. I had the winner. Steelers fell off the face of the earth. The Ravens are absolutely rolling. And like John said, this was not a 14-point game. It might as well have been 28-0.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Roots watching this game, and it just felt like, I mean, I felt like this game was like never ending just because of how bad the Baltimore Ravens were putting it to them. And then I somehow see George Pickens spin out of like maybe a career-ending tackle. And then, he does the little Iron Man down 14 points. I mean, how stupid are you? Down 14 in a playoff game, and you're hitting a Marvel celebration.
I love it.
What a nerd. Yeah, you love it. You're a weirdo, dude.
He's a dumbass. He's a dumbass.
This kid is a moron, man. George Pickens, you complain about your quarterback, and whatever. The media was like, you probably got media trained in this, and that because you shut your mouth one time. dude, you're a piece of shit. And if I was one-on-one with
He's
George,
just not that good either. That's the best part.
if I was one-on-one with George Pickens, I'd press him and put his face in the dirt. Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be 40 yards behind
You're
it.
an idiot. But give me your take.
Yeah, as bad as everyone wants to say they are, I think this game falls on the offensive line for the Steelers. I mean, you can't tell me with how bad Russ has played that he's 20 of 29 for 270 and 2 touchdowns with an average completion of 10 yards, and they don't belong in this game. And, Pickens can kind of say whatever he wants. He got targeted 5 times, 5 catches, 87 yards, and that grab average of 17 and a half yards per catch. Like, what's there to complain about when you run the ball for 29 yards and you have Najee Harris? Like, that's a problem. And
Last game is a Steeler. That was the last game as a Steeler. They didn't pick up his option.
Yeah, and he is good, but he's just a head case.
yeah, I mean, the Steelers really have some soul searching to do. I mean, Russ, Fields, Najee Harris, they're all going to be free agents next year. So it'll be real interesting to see what they do. For the Ravens part here, like they kept saying on the broadcast that the idea was to stop Derrick Henry and let Lamar run, which I kind of agree with that, but they weren't doing it. Like
Poorly executed.
Well, yes, but like there was numerous times where they would run zone read and the inside backer would jump out to take Lamar instead of taking Derrick Henry right in the hole. Like if that's your game plan, and the bad thing is they like to go like nub tight end or like one guy out, at receiver. Like you have guys out there for Lamar. Yeah, he'll probably will make a miss, but that gives you 2 more defenders in the box for Derrick Henry. I would rather, have a safety and an outside backer or a corner try and, tag team Lamar to bring him down than you being one less guy in the box.
Especially with how loose Lamar carries the football, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, so I'll be very interested to see what Buffalo will try and do, if they try and keep that same, game plan. But I don't know how long Zay Flowers is out for Baltimore. So that'll be interesting. I mean, he still threw for 175 yards, but I wasn't impressed. It's kind of, Lamar is kind of doing his best Drew Aller impression, throwing to Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, but I just want to touch on this a little bit, guys, because these games were the Eagles and Packers game is just finishing up for us. But like, these were just another 2 ass beatings. 2 ass beatings that one I maybe saw coming, but this Packers performance I didn't. But like, I don't know who put this in the script, but they're totally correct on Denver is in good hands with Bo. Bo Nix is a stud. He's a rookie, going against a very talented Buffalo team. And I mean, you can't win a football game when they have double the time of possession as you. It's just not going to work. And quite honestly, we were at El Jimador. Shout out El Jim. Mackey had Troy Franklin first touchdown score, and I'll be honest, we looked at each other and we were like, "Is Denver like going to hang around in this game?" And then ultimately, destiny was set, 31 unanswered. Mac, what do you think about Bo, buddy? And is Denver in good hands?
The Troy Franklin first touchdown was just a complete dart throw on the fact they'd come out and try to set the tempo early, make a statement, and that's exactly what they did. Statement didn't matter, but man, it got me excited for a little bit there. Broncos will be just fine. They'll get some more weapons around him, get him some better protection, and I look for this Broncos team to win 2 or 3 more games next year, become an 11, 12 win team, probably still getting the wild card because of Kansas City. I do think they are going to jump the Chargers, though. That's where I stand with them, and then the Raiders suck. They don't even count.
The Raiders are a bye week, as Rex Ryan would say, Mac.
Yep, like me when I play you in fantasy.
Yeah. Do I need to bring up the stats of this year? 3-0 against you this year. Yeah, 3-0 against you this year, bud.
You didn't play me. You didn't play me 3 times.
Oh, 2-0?
1-1.
No, I beat you in Harry's playoffs, bud. There's 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I own you. John? What do we think about Bo, buddy?
Yeah, but Bo Nix is good. He's very. I mean, you guys, you want to say he's young, but he's 25, almost 26 years old. He was in college for I think 6 years. Yeah, but like Maggie said, they need a little bit more protection. I think they need one. I think
Continue.
I think they need more of one good running back rather than keep trying to do it with three. I mean, McLaughlin, Williams, and Estime, either pick one or get rid of a few of them and go out and get a decent name running back. And this team will be very okay. Sean Payton's a great coach. This defense battled all year. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm pretty sure they were the best turnover defense in the NFL this year. So,
Their defense was great.
yeah, shout out the Broncos. Shout out Pat Surtain, all pro again. So the Broncos will be just fine. The Bills defense finally showed up. And like I said earlier, same thing as the Steelers game, the Broncos run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down, try to throw it on third down. You're not going to win games like that. You're just not going to win games
I
like
love
that.
it, John. John, I love when you break stuff down, buddy. It just fires me up. But I mean, does anyone have or wow, you got me stumbling on my words now, John. Does anyone have anything else to add about this Broncos and Bills matchup?
I mean, I just think that Bo Nix is your rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Truly. I only say that because I think, I did read some stuff today about how complex the Sean Payton playbook is. And, by the time that he finally got it down, that's when he hit his stride. He threw for, 3,700 yards, 29 touchdowns, but he was also their third leading rusher as a rookie quarterback. You really don't see that as a guy who he wasn't like a runner coming out.
Right.
Like Jaden Daniels, like
Right.
like Mariota type stuff, a guy who like not a known runner. So I just think that he's your rookie of the year, and Denver's going to be reckoned with for a while.
Yeah, also remember how big of a cap hit they took with the whole Russell Wilson thing. So, and they weren't really able to go out and like get anybody in free agency or anything like that because they took such a cap hit from trash ass Russell Wilson.
Yeah. But our next topic, the Bears. Who are they going to get, guys? On social media today, we had, some stupid things that I hate to see that, they're gonna go after Marcus Freeman. He doesn't want to coach the Bears. It's a headache. The Bears suck. And Marcus Freeman is creating something bigger than football over in Notre Dame. John, out of the remaining coaches right now, if you were the Bears GM or the Bears organization, who would you want to be the head coach?
It's tough. Both coaches to me are on the same sideline right now. Either Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. One of the two. The only thing to me is, like you say, with Marcus Freeman, you say, oh, there's no way he's leaving Notre Dame. A lot of coaches don't want to deal with the NIL and the recruiting and all that nowadays. It's a lot easier to go coach in the NFL. But you also have a lot more job security in college. You're not just going to lose your job after one bad year. So to me, if I'm the Bears, I go and I throw everything I can at Ben Johnson. You need an offensive-minded head coach with a young rookie quarterback. But knowing Ryan Poles, knowing how trash this organization is, I think they'll go out and get a defensive-minded coach in Aaron Glenn again. And it's going to be the same as Eberflus. They're great defensive coordinators. They're not going to be good head coaches.
EP?
Yeah, I did see the same thing that you saw about Freeman. I also saw that Ryan Day was going to go coach the Jets next year. So maybe neither of these two coaches are going to be at their college programs next year. But of course it is. But I think that the Bears go after Pete Carroll or Ron Rivera. I think you need someone who's veteran, not some young gun hot shot. I think Ben Johnson will go to the Raiders. I only say that because Tom Brady has a role in finding that coach, and I think Tom Brady knows, what he's looking for. But
yeah, he knows a little bit of ball.
Yeah. So, but for the Bears, I think they need somebody with experience. I don't think you can keep going down this path of inexperienced coaches trying to do what they're doing, like what they've been doing in the past, and it's just failing over and over for them. So I think it's got to be a veteran guy for the Bears.
Mackie, who do you think the Bears should go out and get, buddy?
I threw this in here because I thought this was an interesting coaching search. It appears they're zeroing in on guys with experience. So I think they're going to go Ron Rivera, so I think it'll end up being. But It's tough. I don't think Pete Carroll wants to come back, and I think it would be stupid for the Bears to hire him because he's old as shit and his health is not great. So I think it could end at any time. I think they just go Riverboat Ron, but that would just be me.
All right. Well, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Pete Carroll, um, but for Pete Carroll's health, I think if he came to the Bears organization, we'd kill him. I really do. Like he's that old, and the stress level of is just horrible. I mean, Chicago fan base is just horrible.
What are the odds for you guys we get Saban off a game day and get him in Chicago?
No, I don't want him. Nope. Sorry.
I don't
Don't
think
want him.
he leaves.
But
The only place that I think he would have left for was to go coach with Belichick at North Carolina.
yeah, that would be cool. But I don't know if we'll get him, but somebody I do want is Brian Flores. I say this because let's just be real honest, guys. The Chicago Bears are never going to be an offensive-minded team. So why not go get a guy that has the best defense in the league right now? And then ultimately see if our interim head coach can go back to offensive coordinator for a little bit and figure it out. Because, I mean, to find an offensive coordinator and a head coach in the same year is pretty much impossible, in my opinion. But I like Brian Flores. I just don't see the Bears ever having an offensive minded head coach ever.
Yeah, I just think that, with how soft the Bears ownership is in front office, that you're going to hire somebody who's still suing the NFL.
Yeah.
I just don't think that that's how they operate. I mean, they're afraid to, break a fingernail at Soldier Field. Like it's just the ownership problem. And I think the exact opposite, truly. I think that people see Caleb. I think DeAndre Swift sucks, truly. DJ Moore, Rome. If you can bring back Keenan, like it's an attractive position. I think they'll get college coaches to apply for that. Other NFL guys will try and apply for it. Like I understand Cliff has Washington in the playoffs right now as the OC, but Caleb's his boy.
Right.
So, the NFL is a dog eat dog world. They don't care about other people. Like if they'll do what's best for them. So that's why I think that the coaching carousel in the NFL is kind of just whatever because they can leave whenever they want.
At the end of the day, for Bears fans, the only way to go is up. I mean, they're going to play another brutal schedule next year. It's going to be another learning year for them. So,
Not one away game will the boys be favored.
so they need to bring in a coach that Poles is going to let him develop this team and this culture. And that's the biggest thing, the Bears give up way too easily, man. And I don't get it. I could never be a Bears fan. I can't stand them. I hate them. And can we move on from that
Mackie,
topic?
so obviously shout out our boy Ron. I mean, the Packers played so good today. Give us a little analysis of Jordan Love's performance today with his little tennis elbow.
What is it? Three interceptions. Absolute clunker. Incredibly disappointing year from Jordan Love. Injury riddled year. Terrible when he was on the field, which was rare. But we'll see. Next year's big for him. He's got to stay on the field.
John?
Yeah, goodbye Packers. I mean, I saw one thing. They were the one team that met the criteria to win the Super Bowl, as teams did for the last 10 years. And I mean, that criteria, honestly,
50.
yeah, that criteria can kiss my ass. The Packers, goodbye. Sorry, Ron. I'm glad you're rooting for the Buckeyes right now down the stretch, but just absolutely horrible performance. I don't know what the heck happened. They were dealing with injuries. I don't know why they played Love week 18. So many things went wrong. And, they had a great season and a great division. So you can't be that mad as a Packers fans. They weren't winning the Super Bowl.
EP?
No, the Packers said no chance. They played the best division in football. They actually finished with the same division record as the Bears. That's only because they blocked the field goal versus the Bears. They were both 1-5 in conference play. See ya. Goodbye. Jordan Love, back to Utah State, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a horrible game to watch. I was pissed. I was so excited for this matchup, actually. And it is, like as Becky said, an absolute clunker. I mean, the game sucked, truly. I mean, I was falling asleep. But, John, we're throwing it to your segment, buddy. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm always fired up to talk a little NBA. You know, we don't got much on the NBA today. There's really not too many key matchups coming up. We're kind of in that middle segment rolling into the back half of the year here. But two things I do want to touch on. The Thunder are 31-6. SGA is absolutely balling right now.
Shout out Ron.
And the Cavs, 33-4. They're on pace to break the record right now, boys. As of right now, they're on pace to break the record. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are absolutely hooping. DP, you remember when we sat here and watched them lose that Celtics game?
Yeah.
They've lost 3 games since. And that was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
This is crazy what this Cavs team's doing. But what I want to do here is let's go ahead and we're going to do a little bit of see what you guys think here on this NBA. I want you guys each to give me your top 5 NBA players right now. So, you know, no LeBron, none of that garbage. So right now, I want you guys to give me your top 5 NBA players. We'll start with you, Mackie.
Putting me on the spot, no LeBron. That's just a stupid question. He's top 5 in the league until the day he retires. And if you put Curry on the list and tell me no LeBron, that's horse shit.
Steph Curry will not be on my list.
Okay, good choice. He
Mackie.
probably isn't in the top 50.
Mackie, who's your 5?
It's tough question. Shea, I think, is in the top 5 right now for sure. I think Luka's in the top 5. Obviously, Jokic, Giannis, and then crazy as it sounds, I'm still putting LeBron 5th until he retires.
DP?
Yeah. To double down on your Cavs thing, no LeBron, no problems in Cleveland. Give me, no order, Giannis, Giannis, Jokic, Shea, Ant,
Darn, I thought I was going to be the only one with him in there.
and Johnny's favorite, Luka Doncic.
He sucks.
He's terrible to watch play basketball, man.
I know
Plays in
everybody
slow
hates how he
motion.
plays.
Was there no Jokic in there?
I put him in there. I said
Oh, I was going to say.
Jokic.
Giannis, Jokic.
I'm fine. I
No,
wish you would have left him out. I wish you would have left him out. I
Well,
think he's horrible.
He
He's
just
a
how white people play
flopaholic, dude.
basketball.
You're an
I
idiot.
hate how he plays basketball.
You don't know ball.
He has ruined the NBA. You're up next.
You don't know
Top 5.
ball.
Give me your top 5.
NBA.
Top 5, no order. The Joker. I'm firm on him being the best player in basketball right now, and probably for the next 5. You can feed me Shea. He's good. He dropped 70 on you, John. KD, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. LeBron's a no-brainer in my opinion. If you need to win a series right now in the NBA, you want him as your player. And my 5th and final would be Michael Jordan's son, Anthony Edwards. Yep.
So I'm going, and we'll get the obvious out of the way quick. SGA.
This is going to be bad.
SGA, Jokic, 1, 2. I am going in order. SGA's 1 right now. Jokic is 2. Giannis is 3. Victor Wembanyama is 4.
This kid's so
At number 5, there's so many guys you could put there. But there's one young stud that I like in Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey. This kid's a stud. Guys, I watch a lot of NBA. I mean, this kid has kept this Philadelphia team afloat through Embiid's injuries, through locker room problems. Like, it is seriously incredible. And, Michael Jordan's son, yes, he's great. He's our future. One thing I did notice.
Oh, you're talking about the NBA.
Yes. One thing I did notice, boys. There's one name that nobody said. Jason Tatum. And
He's
that
not
fired
top
me
5.
up. That fired me
not.
up because I fucking hate Jason Tatum. I hate the Boston Celtics, and I'm so glad there wasn't a Celtics guy in there.
Jason, I think debatably Jaylen Brown's better than him.
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatum just don't show up. Little boy.
Mackie.
Yeah, I'm done.
Tyrese Maxey.
I'm done with the Jason Tatum talk.
Mackie.
I understand a look ahead, but
Mackie, Tyrese
Maxey's
Maxey's
a
a
stud.
stud.
I understand from a look at. I know, John, but you're telling me right now, like Zach was just talking about, you're going to put one guy, you're going to pick one guy that you need to win a playoff series. You're taking Tyrese Maxey over
I'm taking
Curry,
Victor.
Durant, LeBron, Edwards.
That wasn't the question, though.
No, but you asked the
question
5
was
best
not-
players.
The 5 best players, Kevin Durant and LeBron James, are not in there right now.
You're a
If
moron.
we're talking one player to win us a 7-game series, obviously Curry's in there. Curry's in there, LeBron's in there, KD's in there. We all know that. You just watch them do it in the Olympics. I mean, those 3 guys are the greats. But it's like nobody ever. That's the problem with the NBA, and that's why it's so hard to have so many debates about it, because until people move on from them, the NBA is just going to keep declining and declining and declining. So we have to give some of these young studs a shout out. Victor Wembanyama is balling right now.
Yeah, he's good.
So the next
Why-
conversation.
Why Wembanyama and Maxey over Donovan Mitchell then as well, considering Mitchell's on the best team in the league right now?
Because the team around him is much better than what Tyrese Maxey has around him.
Which I agree
And
with.
Victor Wembanyama has his second best player is arguably a 40-year-old point guard in Chris Paul. I mean, you got to think about the guys around him, Mackie. Think about who's he talking?
Maxey.
Okay, yeah, Maxey. He's dealt with no gel all year. He's dealing with a washed up Paul George. His second best player, honestly, might be freaking Kelly Oubre when he's healthy. Like this Sixers team has been in shambles all year, and he's kind of kept them afloat. And you know how Philly fans are, bro. It's like being in New York City. They bring the heat when things go sideways. So just, we already touched on the Thunder and Cavs. It's pretty clear that there's a chance we see that matchup in the finals. And the last thing I want to talk about here, real quick, there's potential, and this just shows that the NBA is kind of going. It's time these old guys are, moving on, and they're going to retire here soon. Curry right now is sitting at the 10 seed in the West. LeBron right now is sitting at the 6 seed in the West. Boys, there's a chance we see a Curry LeBron play-in game. And, I'm not a fan of these NBA playing games because I think the 8 best teams should play, because then the 8 seed actually has a chance to beat the 1 seed in a 7-game series. So what do you guys think on this? Do you think it is time? More so, my question to you guys is there a chance that if we see a playing game between Curry and LeBron down the stretch of this season, could it be one of their last games that we ever watch them play in a Lakers or Warriors uniform?
I'll start. I think that if they play at the end of this season in a playoff matchup, I think that will be the last time that we see them match up against each other. We already got to see an awesome game. Was that Christmas? Yeah, Christmas
Christmas Day.
with those two. And guys, I mean, honestly, it was so much fun to watch. It was like watching a 2K battle, dude. I mean, LeBron, what did he go for, like 38 and 8, and Curry was shooting the lights off the ball as well. And Curry had 7 or 6 threes. JMA's alarm in the background.
Plow the road.
Yep.
Got to
But
got to take his birth control.
he said, "Got to take his birth control." Wow, Mackie from left field on that one. Flip it. But I think that if they were to play in the playoffs this year, it would be their last go around. What do you think, DP?
That would result in one of these guys retiring after this year, and I don't really see that happening. So I do not think that a play-in game would be the last time that we would see them play, because as long as they're both still in the Western Conference, they're going to play each other, And I mean, even with the new NBA schedule, even if they are in the East, one of them goes back to the East, that they still play each other, right? With how, the schedules are now in the NBA. So I don't think that this will be the last time. It might be one of the last, but not the last.
Before I pass to Mackie real quick, I want to say this. It is more likely Steph Curry retires from basketball at the end of this season than LeBron James does.
For sure. Why is that, John?
Because Curry is not scared to hang him up. He doesn't need a farewell tour.
Farewell tour.
He doesn't need any of that. When Steph Curry is done playing basketball, he's got 3 kids. He's got a wife. He's ready to live his life. And, go ahead, Mackie. Go ahead and let's see what you got to say.
I was just gonna let you know Curry can't get open without screens, so he's hanging it up a little early.
He doesn't have any help in his defense. He doesn't have very much help. His second leading scorer for the last 10 games has been Trace Jackson Davis.
I'm just messing with you, John.
Mackie, is this the last matchup you think if they end up clashing it out in the plan?
I don't think it'll be their last matchup, but it could very well be their last important one. That's kind of just where I stand with it. I don't think the Warriors roster is falling apart. It's kind of like the Blackhawks dynasty at the end. They held on a little bit too long, and I could see the Warriors doing the same just because they don't want to get rid of Curry or anything like that when he has a little juice left.
Yeah.
So I think this could be your last important matchup. I really do.
Yeah, and like I said, obviously, guys, we're kind of in that mid-season slide here with the NBA, so we'll get progressively more on the NBA a little bit next week. There's some big matchups coming up that I was looking at about 2 weeks from now, so we'll go ahead and break those down next week. But a little short NBA segment, a little bit of knowledge on what we think out there, and just wanted to shout out the Thunder and the Cavs because what they're doing is impressive.
Yeah, I mean they're playing ball. They are definitely playing ball. DP, do you want to add anything to add on the NBA?
No, I just hope that, these two teams in the Cavs and the Thunder can keep that loss total down. I want to see some crazy records out of these two teams by the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. Mackie, I know you love the NBA. Would you like to add anything else, buddy?
No, I'm all good. I love watching those two teams play. It's good entertainment. That game past week was so awesome.
It was awesome. It was good. It was good TV, elite level basketball. But Mac, pick number 2, low hanging fruit. Do you have another winner for us?
I do have another winner for us here. It's getting a little tough to get these out because football is really the only sport that has look ahead lines a week in the future. Might have to pivot from that here a little bit and maybe do a little golf long shots as the PGA Tour gets into full swing. Love hitting
Wow.
+4 and
Fired up for
5,000.
some golf, dude. Fired up.
Love hitting +4 and 5,000 tournament winners, but we're back with the NFL this week. You can feed me that under in the Texans Chiefs game at 43.5. I don't think the Chiefs are a team that's built to score a ton this year, and I really don't think the Texans are going to move the ball.
42-0, Chiefs win.
It goes
Under
under.
hits.
Yeah, I'll go 23-10 Chiefs is what I would be at.
23-10
23-10
Chiefs for
Chiefs,
Mackie.
Mackey's prediction. Jamie's got the shake of the head going behind the camera, Mac. We pretty much knew he wouldn't like that one, but
I mean, it's
I
not
think
a
the under
knock
is
on
the
the
play, though.
Texans.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
a knock
right,
on the Texans. They won the game that everyone told them they shouldn't. They
right,
proved enough this year. You don't have Tank Dell. You don't have Nico Collins.
right.
Your offensive line is literally held together by pieces of bread. Like
Yeah,
they won the game that they needed to, and anything else now is just a bonus.
I agree. Guys, did we like Mackey's low hanging fruit? I did. I think it's a great play, actually. I don't know if you'd like it, Mr. Points, but I
There's
think
been no points scored at all in these playoffs.
that's what I mean. You probably lost a lot of
And
coin.
no, I just don't bet it because it's the NFL. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
I do think the under is kind of a play here. I do agree with Mackey that the Chiefs aren't, for whatever reason, built to score points, and they have, Mahomes and Andy Reid, and the Chiefs defense has bailed them out literally the entire year with not allowing teams to score points. And no Tank Dell, no Diggs, as Max said, an offensive line held together by bread. I mean, it's just it could be rough sledding in Arrowhead.
Yeah, what do you think, John?
Yeah. Also
I'll be
remember it's
safe.
late January. Got to look at the weather.
I'll be safe. Take the Chiefs spread and call it a day.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't care what it's at.
Mac, what's the look line Chiefs spread?
8.5.
3.
They won the
Yeah,
regular
absolutely
season
free.
game by 8, 27-19.
Wow. I like the underplay. I won't touch that spread, but I do like the under. But it's wrapping us up, guys. Another episode in the books, NFL and NBA. Great talks, John. I know your segment was short and sweet, but I liked it. Well, oh my God, he's an idiot.
Go win it, Baker. Go do it, baby.
Yeah, Baker, win the game, baby. We love you. Never bet against Baker.
Kate Otten, first touchdown.
All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching.
See ya. Damn.